Do you want to hit on a few of the things that is probably most helpful for people to look into? I've definitely seen some of the fraud alerts that you can set on your accounts, and also credit freezes. But why is a credit freeze such a good idea?
Sure, a credit freeze is a good idea. To back up a second, let's talk about the things that an attacker or a criminal could do with your social security number. Number one, they could use it to commit identity theft, which means they can steal your identity and use it to open up a credit card or a bank account or apply for a loan, things like that. So it's a first step in committing these other financial crimes. Another epidemic that's been going on for the past couple of years is W-2 fraud. So attackers use your social security number and information about your wages in order to file fraudulent W-2s with the IRS, in order to file taxes and then get your refund electronically. So those are a couple different ways that your social security number can be monetized, in addition to the fact that it's just bought and sold online. It's straightforward to protect yourself against identity theft by freezing your credit. Freezing your credit means that you contact each of the 3 major credit bureaus and you put a freeze. You say, nobody can make any changes or pull copies of my credit history. And that means when you apply for a loan or when you apply for a credit card, the first step is that whoever you've applied with has to go and pull a copy of your credit and see how credit worthy you are. By freezing your credit, you stop criminals in their tracks. You make it impossible for them to leverage that information, or at least much more difficult for them to leverage that information to commit financial crimes. So you could sign up for credit monitoring, and that's fine, there's nothing wrong with that, but it's even better to take a step back and to freeze your credit in the first place and to unfreeze it when you need to do something.
And how can organizations be better prepared to help out those that they're working with?
Sure. I mean, we can take some proactive steps to help protect our communities, our employees, our customers, and our own organizations. One of the ways we can do that is by changing the way we authenticate people. So to authenticate someone means to verify their identity. And right now, there are still many organizations that do authentication based on your social security number, as you have experienced, Chris. So instead of that, let's talk to our management. Let's take a look at our processes, and remember that your social security number is effectively public. We need to start treating it that way because you can buy people's social security numbers for $1 online. So imagine that social security numbers are out there, they're public, they used to be on people's driver's licenses, and let's modify our processes accordingly so that when our customers call, when members call to gain access to accounts, we're not relying on this number that is effectively public.
Is there a checklist of things that you should definitely be doing or asking to make sure the organization is doing to protect you and your information?
Sure. Well, it doesn't hurt to ask any organization that you work with how they secure their data, especially because we've had a number of organizations will collect more and more information for the purposes of preventing fraud. And that's ironic. I don't know if anyone has heard of the red flags identity theft rule, but often organizations will require you to provide your driver's license and then they'll scan that in, or they'll require you to provide your social security number and then scan that in. And the more information you collect, the more at risk your organization is, and the more you're putting your members at risk. So think about data as hazardous material and try to reduce the amount of data that you collect. I mean, if we've learned anything from the Equifax breach, it should be data is hazardous material. And the less data that you have hanging around, the less your risk will be.
Check us out on YouTube, Twitter, everywhere. It's LMG Security, and we will see you next time. Thank you for watching. Boom, done. Killing those.